Hello, good morning again, all of you. Manisi ma'am, can we start?
जी जी सर, हम शुरू कर सकते हैं. Am I
Okay.
audible and visible too? Let me check
Yes,
this.
ma'am. You are audible as well as visible.
Thank you. जी. But I think you are not audible now to me.
Before the start of the session, I am privileged to introduce Professor Manishi Mishra ma'am. Urgently, Manishi Mishra ma'am is working as convener, Value Education Cell, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. She has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience at various institutions. She also headed Department of Education for 5 years being a teacher trainer. She worked for many value education workshops at national and international level. She is a renowned expert in the field of professional communication and soft skill training. She completed her PhD from Regional Institute of Education, Ajmer, Rajasthan. She has been honored with several awards such as Nari Shakti Ratan Award by International Association of Lions Club and many more. She is an active member of the various professional organizations and societies like Coordinating Committee, Value Education Cell, AKTU, SARED Society, ELTAI, English Language Teachers Association of India. So now I request to ma'am to start this session.
जी, धन्यवाद सर मेरे इस परिचय के लिए. मैं चाहूँगी कि मैं स्लाइड्स अपनी शेयर कर पाऊँ. तो उसके लिए आप मुझे थोड़ा सा बता पाएंगे तो मैं अपनी स्लाइड भी पहले ओपन कर लूँ.
Hello ma'am.
जी, are you able to see the slide now?
हाँ yes ma'am.
जी. So, my heartiest thanks to Dr. Rakesh Kumar for providing me this opportunity to be with you, to interact with you. It was on a very short notice. I was just thinking what to discuss with people of engineering while I'm not from
Ma'am,
engineering background.
I am interrupt you.
जी.
इसको आप स्क्रीन शेयर मोड में ना बॉटम में जहाँ पे कमेंट्स है उसका फोर्थ नंबर जहाँ पे दिख रहा है. हाँ yes.
हाँ, अब ठीक है सर.
Now wait. अभी
मैंने
this
उसको
is in.
प्रेजेंटेशन मोड पे कर दिया है.
It may be come within time, ma'am. Okay, continue, ma'am.
तो एक चीज हम लोग सभी हिंदी में ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है, इंग्लिश में ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है,
A
कैसा
lot of
रखना ठीक रहेगा?
maximum a lot of participants from South also, Kerala, Tamil Nadu.
जी
So
जी.
you can mix or
ओके.
English because they are not able to understand maybe in Hindi from South.
जी जी जी. आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट. यस. So I hope
Okay.
it is now visible, full screen and presentation mode. So are we comfortable visualizing the slide on the screen? If I can get your response, it would be an help.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. We are
Visible but
very much
not.
comfortable.
जी जी. So I was just sharing with you that it was on a very, very short notice. So it came to me what to discuss with engineers and the people from civil engineering background. So, but then one thought came in my mind. That was we all are educators first. And as educators, what exactly is our responsibility as teachers, as academicians? This is all common to all of us, you know. So that's why I decided to take this topic, role of education in holistic development. Any student or any parent who sends the child to us, he wants him or her to get shaped or get nurtured in a way so that he comes out or emerges as a very, very socially useful citizen, socially participating in a constructive manner in the society. So this is what I see while I talk myself as a teacher. Or if we see education as whole. So this is what is important for us as teachers. So now it's not about construction of buildings, construction of roads, but it is about constructing a human being in humane culture, humane behavior, humane. He must get developed in a holistic manner to have the holistic understanding about how to live, how to behave, where to work, how to work. So this is what we are going to discuss today in this session, role of education in holistic development. See, if we just look ourselves as teachers, as educators, it is important that whatever we are imparting as teachers must give rise to a humane society. It must build a society which is humanitarian. And for this, to fulfill this dream of ours, it is important that we provide human education in Sanskar. The kind of education we provide, if it is human education, then it provides to our students humane worldview or humane perspective. एक मानवीय दृष्टि बनती है जब हम मानवीय शिक्षा संस्कार देते हैं. With this holistic worldview or perspective, one is able to decide on his own right what is valuable, what is of value, that is valuable for human being, जिसको हम human values कह रहे हैं. So with this understanding, what is right for me, what not, when an engineer, when a student gets, into deciding about his own career, whatever the skills he learns, whatever the training he receives, he actually learns the skills which helps him to ensure human conduct. And this living this way with human conduct gives rise to a human society. When we share as teachers, as educators, whatever we discuss, whatever we impart in the name of education, if it is value-oriented, value-guided, the child gets the worldview which is holistic. And with this holistic perspective, he is able to understand what to do as a human being. And with this, he also is able to decide what skills to learn. And with these skills, he is able to work for a humane society. So there are certain guidelines which can say that, yes, this kind of education is actually value, has got the value input. So what are these guidelines that we see? Any education which is universal in nature, which is universal means very simple, which is applicable to everyone irrespective of any caste, creed, region, religion, anything. It applies equally to everyone. Then that education is, this education has value input. Then it has to be rational. Whatever we are sharing, it has to be logical. The student should be able to ask, question it, and verify it, whether whatever has been discussed or shared, is it right for him or not? So it should be rational as well as verifiable on his own right. And ultimately, when a student, he comes out of this education system, he must lead towards harmony. So the education is actually that leads ultimately to harmony. So the kind of guidelines we have, if with these guidelines, the education is imparted, this value-guided skill education we can provide through our technical education, which can give rise to a just and equitable society. With this background, I think the title, The Holistic Development and Role of Education, or Role of Education for Holistic Development, we see. We keep talking about holistic development. हम सभी डेवलपमेंट चाहते हैं, विकास चाहते हैं, एक विकसित देश चाहते हैं, विकसित परिवार चाहते हैं, विकसित समाज चाहते हैं. As an individual, we want development. But what exactly this means to be holistic development? हम कब कह सकते हैं कि हमारा विकास, हमारा development holistic है? So this is what we are going to discuss in today's session. And as teachers, as academicians, what is the role of education in holistic development? And about this session, what will be the content, what will be the entire, what this session is meant for, we are going to conclude at the end this as the sum up. And exactly about the process also, how we are going to conduct this session. If we talk about this session, this is simply a proposal for you. Whatever I share with you is simply a proposal. Don't assume it to be true. But what is to be done is, we have to verify it on our own rights. Means, on the basis of our natural acceptance, is it naturally acceptable to me or not? For example, if I ask you, what is naturally acceptable to you? Relationship, a feeling of relationship, or feeling of opposition in you? What do you think? Can you verify this on your own right? हम इसको अपने अधिकार पर जान सकते हैं क्या कि हमारे लिए सहज क्या है? संबंध का भाव या विरोध का भाव? चाहते क्या हैं हम? जी हम कैसा भी रहे हैं, तो सहज रूप से स्वीकार क्या है? आप लोग चैट बॉक्स में लिखकर या फिर अपना माइक अनम्यूट करके शेयर कर सकते हैं. What exactly is natural to you? What exactly is naturally acceptable to you? Ji. I would like to have few responses in the chat box, if you can reply. Yes. So I'm not able to see even the chat box. So आप लोग अगर अपना माइक अनम्यूट करके बोलेंगे तो ज्यादा ठीक रहेगा. Because I'm trying to get through the chat box so that I'm able to see your responses. जी बताएं. I hope I am audible. Rakesh sir, am I audible?
Sir, yes ma'am, you are audible.
And is my screen visible? There is some problem. I'm not able to see my full screen once again. It has gone. जी. ठीक है. So I hope we are there and we are listening to it. तो मैं यहाँ जो भी बात शेयर कर रही हूँ, ये एक प्रपोजल है. इसको सही ना माने और ना ही गलत मानकर रिजेक्ट कर दें. But you can verify it on your own right, whether it is true for you or not. For example, as I asked you, what do you want to be? You want to be in relationship or you want to be in with the feeling of opposition in relationship. So whether we say that we want to be in relationship and whether we are living in opposition, but still if you ask yourself the question again and again, you'll find that answer is always naturally acceptable is to be in relationship. So what we are discussing today is a process of dialogue between you and me to start with, and soon it becomes a dialogue within your own self. The dialogue within our own self is between two realities, what I am and what I really want to be. What I am is the way I think, the way I feel, the way my approach is, the way what my attitude is. This is what I am. And what I want to be is really what is naturally acceptable to me. You know, like for example, when I said that what is naturally acceptable to you, relationship or feeling of opposition, you can see within if 10 number of times we ask ourselves this same question, the answer comes that yes, I want to be in relationship. But what I am, if I see within, we'll find that sometimes I am able to live in relationship, but sometimes though I want to be in relationship, I'm not able to sustain that relationship, and I get into the feeling of opposition. So this dialogue between you and me in this session is going to be soon become a dialogue within your own self. So let us explore what exactly do we want and the way we are. If we just look into the state of the society today, many advances have taken place through the use of science, technology, management, and medicine, right? We all agree to this. The kind of luxury, the kind of comfort we are able to enjoy today, and the way we are connected today, it's all because of the sciences and technology. But the question is, has society also advanced towards the desired state with this advancement? What do you think? We have advanced so much in terms of science and technology, in terms of medicine and management, but has the society also advanced towards the desired state? This is the question, right? What is your response? What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको? जितना हमने तकनीकी और वैज्ञानिक रूप से विकास किया है ना, क्या हमारा समाज भी उसी तरीके से विकसित हो पाया है जिस तरीके से हम चाहते थे विकसित हो? It would be good if you can respond to the question so that this exploration goes on together, because it is not like I'm there as an expert and I'm going to put sermons, but yes, we have to decide it together. We have to explore these issues together. Ji. बताएं please. क्योंकि हम मिलकर एक्सप्लोर करेंगे तो किसी निष्कर्ष तक पहुंच पाएंगे. But then if we do not explore, it would be difficult to reach to a conclusion which exactly is right for us, you and me, and which helps us reach towards the purpose of this session. जी, तो ये तो देखिए हम सबको दिखता तो है ही कि जिस तरीके से हम लोग साइंटिफिकली और टेक्निकली डेवलप हुए हैं, हमारी सोसाइटी उसी तरीके से एडवांस या डेवलप नहीं हो पाई है. जो हालात हैं उससे तो हमको बहुत क्लियरली दिखता है. And you can just see the kind of fears which we have even right now. The three kinds of fears are very much, we know very well. One is fear of natural calamities. Another is fear of wild animals. And the third is fear of the inhuman behavior of human beings, right? These three kind of fears, which one do you think is the predominant fear? तीन तरीके के भय दिखाई देते हैं, देखिए, है ना. इन 3 तरीके के भय में कौन सा भय आपको लगता है कि प्रीडोमिनेंट है? नेचुरल कैलामिटीज का फियर, जंगली जानवरों का डर, या मानव के अमानवीय व्यवहार का डर? Which fear is predominant? नेचुरल कैलामिटीज को अगर देखें तो बहुत सारा हम लोगों ने इस तरीके के प्रेडिक्शंस से चीजों को कंट्रोल कर लिया है। आज आप और हम अपने अपने रूम्स में बैठकर आराम से एक बात को सुन पा रहे हैं, बाहर आंधी तूफान आए तो वी फील प्रोटेक्टेड। वहां हमने बहुत सारा काम किया है। और वाइल्ड एनिमल्स के डर को देखें तो वाइल्ड एनिमल्स का डर भी हम लोगों ने इस तरीके से कंट्रोल किया है कि आज सेंचुरीज में जब हम देखने जाते हैं तो वहां बोर्ड लगा होता है, सेव वाइल्ड एनिमल्स, है ना, वन्य प्राणियों की रक्षा करें, एंड दे प्लेस अ पिक्चर ऑफ अ टाइगर। तो एक समय टाइगर से हमको डर था, आज टाइगर को हमसे डर है। तो वो भी हमने उस फियर से भी हम बहुत हद तक निकल आए। बट व्हाट अबाउट द फियर ऑफ इनह्यूमन बिहेवियर ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग? मानव के अमानवीय व्यवहार के भय का डर क्या है? इज दिस ऑन इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? द फियर ऑफ inhuman behavior of human being, has it increased or decreased with the increase of education, with the increase of technology, science, management, medicine? इन सब के डेवलपमेंट के साथ, एडवांसमेंट के साथ, ये जो ह्यूमन बीइंग के इनह्यूमन बिहेवियर का फियर है, ये बढ़ा है या घटा है? क्या लगता है आप? If you just share your feelings, it would be good, because नहीं तो बिल्कुल वन वे हो जाएगा। और आप लोगों का अगर इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहेगा तो सेशन से हम लोग कुछ ले पाएंगे। तो अगर आप बताएंगे तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा। आप लोगों को क्या लगता है, जो मानव के अमानवीय व्यवहार का भय है वो टाइम के साथ में बढ़ा है या घटा है? इज दिस इज ऑन इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज? So we all are able to see that the fear of inhuman behavior of human being has increased with time. Though the education has also increased, but this fear has also increased. We can see in individual the tensions, families are seen dividing, terrorism in the society, and so on. And there is increasing exploitation of nature as well. We are facing so much climate change and global warming issues, resource depletion issues, this way all around. So what exactly is the purpose of education? Is education contributing positively or negatively to these issues? हम शिक्षा में तो बढ़े हैं, लिटरेसी रेट हमने 100% भी किया है बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में, लेकिन उसके साथ में ये जो समस्याएं बढ़ी हैं उसमें हमारी एजुकेशन, जो प्रेजेंट एजुकेशन है, आप लोगों को क्या लगता है ये पॉजिटिवली कंट्रीब्यूट कर रही है या नेगेटिवली कंट्रीब्यूट कर रही है? हमारे एजुकेशन से सिस्टम से निकले हुए बच्चे, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ माइंडसेट डू दे डेवलप? डू दे डेवलप अ माइंडसेट ऑफ सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्शन एंड राइट यूटिलाइजेशन, और दे डेवलप अ माइंडसेट ऑफ accumulation and indulgence with minimum labor? I was having a class with my students and I asked them about a question, that what exactly do they aim for, what is their goal, you know? So one of the students, he said, my goal is to get retirement at the age of 25. My account should get filled with lots of riches, wealth, and I should take rest then. So this is the statement, this is the state of the students today, going through this education system. काम ना करना पड़े और पैसा हमारे पास अधिक से अधिक हो। आपको क्या लगता है? Has the purpose of education been only to make our students able to earn money, or it is something more than that? And what exactly we are working for? और क्या एजुकेशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव ट्रेडिशनली जब से शिक्षा आई या शिक्षा शुरू हुई तब से उसका उद्देश्य क्या इतना ही रहा होगा कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स सिर्फ पैकेज लेने के लिए तैयार हो पाए या इससे ज्यादा होगा? ये सोचने की बात है ना? तो लेट्स just explore it, whether this kind of mindset with which our students are coming up, does this increase the fear of inhuman behavior, or would this decrease the fear of inhuman behavior? Let's explore it further. Now the question comes, what is the role of education? What do you think is the role of education? आप क्या समझते हैं? एजुकेशन का रोल क्या है? I propose you something about the role of education. You can think on it whether it is right or not. From my side, the proposal is the role of education is to facilitate the development of the competence to live with definite human conduct. शिक्षा की भूमिका तो इतनी है कि मानव में निश्चित मानवीय आचरण से जीने की योग्यता विकसित हो जाए। क्या लगता है आपको? ये एजुकेशन की डेफिनेशन ठीक है या नहीं है? आपको क्या लगता है? क्या इसी तरीके की शिक्षा की आवश्यकता है, या शिक्षा की भूमिका यही है कि मानव मानवीय आचरण के साथ जीने के योग्य हो जाए, उसके अंदर ये योग्यता विकसित हो जाए, है ना? तो चाहते तो हम सब यही हैं। और इसको अगर हम और ठीक से देखें, सो व्हाटएवर वी सी अराउंड अस, ट्रीज, प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, है ना, अदर देन ह्यूमन बीइंग, so we'll find that all units around us, they have definite conduct except for human being. If we just look at the trees and plants, we'll find that their conduct is based on their seed. If the seed is of a mango tree, it will grow into a mango tree and have the conduct of mango, the mango tree only. Never when you sow a mango tree, it wouldn't never show the traits of neem tree, right? So its conduct is definite. In the same way, if we look at the cow, the conduct of animals is based on their breed. जैसा breed है वैसा उसका conduct है ना? If you must not have ever seen a cow chasing a rabbit and eat it. Its conduct is definite. Either it's cruel or non-cruel. But what about human beings? The conduct of human being, if we see, it is based on our education sanskar. The kind of education we provide, the kind of sanskar we provide, so is the conduct of human being. So if we see trees and plants, their conduct is seed-based, animals have their breed-based, but for human being, it is based on their education and sanskar. जैसा शिक्षा संस्कार होगा, वैसा ही उसका आचरण होगा. So if now we again reiterate this definition of education, what is the role of education? Is to facilitate the development of the competence to live with definite human conduct. मानव मानव के जैसा निश्चित आचरण के साथ जीने लग जाए, है ना? So let us think, let us explore. Is there need for such education? क्या ऐसी शिक्षा की जरूरत है ही? ये हम सभी को लगता है कि ऐसी शिक्षा हो जिससे इसमें अभी देखें तो ज्यादातर हम लोग अपने जीवन का, या एक बच्चा अपने लाइफ का 1/4 या 1/3 जो पार्ट है वो एजुकेशन में ही लगा रहा है, और उसके बाद भी उसके कंडक्ट में वो अश्योरेंस नहीं दिखता, है ना? तो क्या हमको ऐसी शिक्षा की जरूरत है, ऐसी एजुकेशन की जरूरत है जिससे ह्यूमन बीइंग, मानवीय ह्यूमन कंडक्ट के साथ जीने के लिए तैयार हो पाए, है ना? फिर दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि अगर इफ वी फील लाइक यस दिस इज द नीड, we need such education which helps us a child to develop as a human being with human conduct, then who is responsible to make it available? Who is responsible? क्या लगता है? हम कहेंगे पेरेंट्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं, हम कहेंगे टीचर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं, है ना? हम कहेंगे सोसाइटी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है। ऐसा तो दिखाई देता ही है, because it's not only the teachers who are responsible to make this kind of education available, but parents also. But then the thing is, are we able to ensure this education? क्या हम ऐसी शिक्षा इंश्योर कर पा रहे हैं आज की डेट में? What do you think? Are we able to ensure the education which develops definite human conduct or which facilitates the development of competence to live with definite human conduct? Then if we want to provide such education, what would be the basic requirement? अब क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि अगर हम ऐसी एजुकेशन देना ही चाहते हैं, इस तरीके से अपने बच्चों को तैयार करना चाहते हैं, तो उसकी बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या होंगी, है ना? क्या चाहिए हमको इस तरीके की एजुकेशन सिस्टम को खड़ा करने के लिए? So let us explore into this a bit more. So I have some very important questions with which we'll explore into the details of this before we end up. But then if you respond, it will be much better for me also and for you also to exactly reach where we want to reach, the solution to this, the answer to these questions. The question is human relationship important? आपको क्या लगता है, क्या हमारे लिए ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप इंपॉर्टेंट है? Have you just assumed it, yes, or you have understood it? There's a difference between this, assuming and understanding. हमने मान लिया है कि ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप इंपॉर्टेंट है या इसको जान लिया है? इसको हमको देखने की, समझने की जरूरत है। तो हम मानव रूप में चाहते क्या हैं, इसको हम लोग और एक्सप्लोर करते हैं। व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डू वी ऑल वांट एज ह्यूमन बीइंग? हम सब चाहते क्या हैं? एंड वी कैन एग्जामिन दिस विद इन आवर ओन सेल्व्स। I don't have to tell you what exactly do you want, but we can explore it within our own selves. So let us explore this. What is our basic aspiration? What do we all want? Do we want to be happy? What is your response? What do you think? Do we want to be prosperous? क्या हम समृद्ध होना चाहते हैं? क्या हम सुखी होना चाहते हैं? Do we want the continuity of our happiness and prosperity? और क्या हम अपने सुख और समृद्धि की निरंतरता चाहते हैं? What is your response? I think when we look within, we'll find that yes, we want to be happy, we want to be prosperous, and we want the continuity also of our happiness and prosperity. Right? But if we look into the state of our being, हम जैसे हैं, अगर उसको देखें, just question yourself, are we happy? Are we prosperous? And is there continuity of our happiness and prosperity? When we look at our desire, we are pretty sure, and there is a confirmation in it. Yes, we want to be happy. We want to be prosperous. We want the continuity of our happiness and prosperity. But then if we go into the state of our being the way we are, जैसा हम हैं और जो हम चाहते हैं, है ना, इसको अगर देखें तो क्या हम सुखी हैं? क्या हम समृद्ध हैं? क्या हमारे सुख और समृद्धि की निरंतरता है? क्या लगता है आपको? चाहते तो हम हैं और शायद हम उसी के लिए रात दिन एफर्ट भी कर रहे हैं, the way we are investing ourselves, attending these FDPs or writing research papers or working as a professional in corporate or anywhere, we are working just to ensure happiness and prosperity. But then, are we able to ensure this? Are we in this state? Or are we working to ensure the continuity of our happiness and prosperity? What is your response? Think on it. Whatever efforts we are making, is our effort is for the continuity of happiness and prosperity, or just for accumulation of physical facilities? हम जितना भी समय प्रयास लगा रहे हैं वो सुख और समृद्धि की निरंतरता के लिए लगा रहे हैं, या सिर्फ फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज के accumulation के लिए लगा रहे हैं, है ना? क्या लगता है आपको? या have you assumed that happiness and prosperity will automatically come when you have enough physical facility? If physical facilities हो जाएंगी sufficient, तो there will be happiness and prosperity which will automatically get ensured. फिर उसके लिए कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, है ना? देखिए, what exactly effort are you making for continuity of happiness and prosperity other than accumulation of physical facility? हम लोग सुविधा कमाने के अर्थ में physical facilities के accumulation के लिए तो बहुत सारा समय और प्रयास लगा ही रहे हैं, पर हम अपने सुख की निरंतरता के लिए कितना प्रयास लगा रहे हैं? और हम अपने हैप्पीनेस की कंटिन्यूटी चाहते हैं, या कभी सुखी हो कभी दुखी हो, कैसे भी हो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? Do we want the continuity of happiness, or sometimes happy or sometimes unhappy it would do to you? Right? If you just explore within, we'll find that yes, we want to have the continuity of our happiness and prosperity. But if we look at our effort, we'll find that our effort is for the accumulation of physical facility. तो ये गैप क्यों है? Why is this gap? हम चाहते हैं कंटिन्यूटी, बट देन वी आर वर्किंग ओनली फॉर द एक्यूमुलेशन ऑफ फिजिकल फैसिलिटी, ये मानते हुए कि एक बार फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज हो जाएंगी तो हम सुखी और समृद्ध तो हो ही जाएंगे. चलिए इसको और एक्सप्लोर करते हैं. लेट अस एक्सप्लोर दिस फर्दर. जस्ट एक्सप्लोर. We all have problems. I think there is no one who don't face any kind of a problem in the family. But just explore it. The kind of unhappiness in our family or in your family is more due to lack of physical facility, or more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? क्या लगता है आपको? What do you think? Whatever the problems, whatever the unhappiness is there in our family, it is due to lack of physical facility, or it is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? You can think on it. You can write your responses. How do you feel? How do you think the problems, the unhappiness is due to? So if we explore within, we'll find that yes, the problem more or the unhappiness more is due to lack of fulfillment and relationship, and less due to lack of physical facility. Because if we look at our houses, we'll find that in last 10 years, physical facilities have increased in our houses, right? We would find that yes, physical facilities have increased a lot in last 10 years. But what about the relationship? With the increase of physical facilities, have the relationship also increased? And what is our effort? The problem or the unhappiness is due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. And if we look at ourselves, we'll find that we are investing more and more time for physical facility or for fulfillment in relationship. We can evaluate our own living and see how much time and effort are you investing for physical facility and how much time and effort are you investing for fulfillment in relationship. कितना समय और प्रयास आप सुविधा जुटाने के लिए लगा रहे हैं और कितना समय और प्रयास आप संबंधों के निर्वाह के लिए लगा रहे हैं, है ना? So we'll find that yes, the unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship, but most of the time and effort is spent for physical facility. क्या लगता है? Are we able to see this? ओके, इतनी बात जो अभी तक मैंने शेयर की है, इस पर अगर आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो ले सकते हैं.
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू मैडम,
जी.
अभी हम फोर्थ स्लाइड विजिबल है, तो आई थिंक द स्लाइड्स आर नॉट मूविंग, सो प्लीज चेक इट.
अच्छा, it would have been good had you shared it earlier, because I've moved on to 27th slide, and if it's not you are stuck at 4th, then I don't know how much we could relate to each other. But yes, let me try once again. हाँ, अब बताइए सर, are you able to see this slide? It's a 27th slide for exploration.
Yeah, now it's visible, 27.
Ji. So I was just sharing that the unhappiness in our family is more due to lack of physical facility or due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. So if you can respond to it, it would be okay. The way you have responded about the visibility of the slide, then it would make us get connected. तो जितनी बात अभी तक हमने की है, इस पर अगर आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप प्लीज पूछ सकते हैं. देखिए, एक हमारे यहाँ फैकल्टी मेंबर हैं whom I know since very long. So he used to conduct tuitions from since very early morning, from 6 o'clock, I think. And then he used to go to his college. And after college also, he used to conduct the tuitions. So one day we were having an interaction and I asked him that, why do you conduct so much of tuition classes and since morning, don't you get exhausted? So he said, no, though I get exhausted, but I want my family to be happy. And the second thing that I want all my children, he had 2 kids. He said, I want both kids to study abroad. So I just asked him, why don't you ask your children whether they want to move abroad or not? आप तो चाहते हैं, आप उसके लिए इतना पैसा भी कमा रहे हैं, रात दिन मेहनत कर रहे हैं, बट बच्चे क्या चाहते हैं? आप उनसे पूछिएगा. So the next day when he came, so we were having an interaction again, and he said, I said, did you ask this question to your kids? What was their response? So he said, yes, I asked them. He said, the kids want me to spend more time with them rather than earning money. बच्चे तो यही चाहते हैं. So we want relationship, fulfilling relationship, but what our effort is much invested in accumulating physical facility. है ना? सारा प्रयास जो हम लगा रहे हैं वो physical facilities इकट्ठा करने के लिए लगा रहे हैं. So unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship, but most of the time and effort is spent for physical facility. आप देखिए, आप डाइनिंग टेबल पर जब साथ में बैठते हैं परिवार के, what kind of a conversation do you have? Do you talk about each other, ask your feelings, share your feelings, ask others how the others feel about you, what you feel about them? Do you discuss this? or you talk about, in terms of money, कि उसका वो आया है लिफाफा, शगन आया है, कितना दिया उन्होंने, हमको उनके यहाँ जाना है तो हम कितना देंगे, है ना, महंगाई कितनी बढ़ गई है, हमारी जरूरतें क्या हैं, इनको कैसे पूरा करना है, सर्चिंग फॉर न्यू जॉब. What exactly do we communicate or have a discussion on dining table? We just explore, we'll find that most of the time we are talking in terms of physical facilities, while the problem is there in relationship. ये बिल्कुल वही बात है ना, जैसे एक प्रोफेसर साहब थे and he lost his ring. He lost his ring and he was searching for the ring under a lamp post. So while he was searching, one or two person or one of his friend came and said, Professor sir, what are you searching over here? So he said, I'm searching for my ring which I have lost. So he said, okay, let me help you too to find that ring. And he too started searching for it. Then another person came. He said, okay, what happened? What went wrong? What did you lose? Shall I help you finding it? And then he too started finding the ring. But after half an hour, they said, Professor Saab, are you sure you have lost the ring under this lamppost only? So the professor said, no, I haven't lost the ring here. It was lost in a pond nearby. Then they said, why are you searching under the lamppost? So he said, because there is light over here. So this is because it is easy to find solution under the light. So we are working for easy solutions. हमको लगता है कि पैसा कमाना ज्यादा आसान है संबंधों पर काम करने से. तो हम संबंध कैसे ठीक होंगे ये हमको समझ में नहीं आता, तो हम सुविधा ज्यादा से ज्यादा ओवर टाइम करके भी कमाने में लगे रहते हैं. बिकॉज द assumption is that once we have physical facilities, the happiness and prosperity will automatically get ensured. So just check within yourself. We can see that for human beings, physical facility is necessary, but relationship is also necessary. And if you examine carefully, we find that it is fundamental difference between animals and human beings. What this difference is that physical facility is necessary for animals and it is necessary for human beings also. But for animals, if we see, physical facility is necessary, but then it is adequate. But for human beings, physical facility is necessary, but not adequate. It is not adequate. It is not fulfilling for him. For example, if we see, when, we both get into problem. If human being, we do not get physical facilities, we become uncomfortable. When we get physical facility, we become comfortable. So in the same way, when a cow gets stomach full of grass, it becomes comfortable, sits and chews the cud. Right? When we see animals, if we observe the behavior of the animals, हम animals के behavior को observe करें तो दिखाई देता है कि अगर उनको खाना ना मिले तो वो परेशान होते हैं, और एक बार खाना मिल जाए तो वो आराम में आ जाते हैं. जैसे गाय को अगर वो खाना ना मिले तो परेशान होती है ना, और हाथ पैर मारती है, तो आपको आवाज से पता चल जाता है कि वो भूखी है. आप एक बार जाते हैं, उसको खाना दे देते हैं, वो आराम से बैठ जाती है और बैठकर जुगाली करने लगती है. It chews the cud. But what about human beings? If human being has lack of physical facility, we become uncomfortable and unhappy also. But once we get physical facility, we forget about it and start thinking about 100 other things. You know? Just check for yourself. If you feel happy every day that you are getting enough to eat, आपको क्या लगता है? आप ये सोचकर खुश हैं कि आपको पेट भर खाना मिल रहा है आज की डेट में? So here we conclude that for human beings, physical facility is necessary. That we do not deny. Physical facility is necessary for us. But relationship is also necessary for human beings. Animals can do away with only physical facility, है ना? उनको संबंध की चिंता नहीं है, उनको पीसफुल सोसाइटी की चिंता नहीं है. दे आर नॉट एट ऑल बॉदर्ड कि भाई ये पास वाले घर की गाय ज्यादा आराम में क्यों है. बट फॉर ह्यूमन बीइंग इट इज एन इशू. हमारे लिए खाली फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज पर्याप्त नहीं है. एनिमल्स के लिए सफिशिएंट है, एनिमल के लिए एडिक्वेट है. अच्छा, if we just look at ourselves, other than physical facility, what else does a human being think about? So if you just think, what are the things other than physical facility that you talk of, that you think of? So you'll find that whatever we think, it can be classified or categorized into two. That is, one, we think about the feelings in relationship with other human beings, and also about right understanding in the self or knowledge. And we think of ensuring both of them in addition to physical facilities. So for human being, physical facility is also essential. Relationship is also important, right? But right understanding in the self or knowledge in the self is also important. But if we recognize human beings' aspiration, because what exactly do we want? What do we aspire for? We'll find that we want to live in relationship with all and feel happy living in relationship. And therefore relationship is necessary for human beings. हम चाहते तो हैं कि हम संबंध में ही रहें, संबंध पूर्वक ही जीना चाहते हैं. पर एक चीज आप और देखते होंगे, जब हम अपने में एग्जामिन करें, अगर अपने से पूछें तो आपको क्या लगता है? You want to live in relationship in harmony with others, or you want to live in opposition with others, or you believe living has to be necessarily in opposition with others? That is, there is struggle for survival and survival of the fittest, and check if you feel happy living this way. तो हम पहले तो अपने लिए तय करें कि हम चाहते क्या हैं. हम संबंध पूर्वक जीना चाहते हैं दूसरों के साथ, हम विरोध पूर्वक जीना चाहते हैं दूसरों के साथ, या
Hello,
हमने
ma'am.
मान लिया
Slides
है.
are. Hello, ma'am.
Again, the slides are not
moving
visible.
yet. Visible, ma'am. Move. Okay. Movement is still. Now we are at 32.
I
Okay,
think
ma'am.
I won't put it in presentation mode. That will make it, make you visualize it moving. Otherwise, I think it gets stuck once I get it into presentation mode. Presentation mode में ले जाने से ये stuck हो जा रहा है, और normal रखूंगी तो मेरे ख्याल से आप लोग इसको देख पा रहे हैं. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है कोई, अगर हम प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में नहीं रखते हैं.
Once you move,
No problem.
जी,
just move the another slide, 31 or 33.
या
It's not moving.
Yeah, because I'm not moving it ahead. That's why it's not moving. It's not a slide mode so that it will move, but along with the content that I'm discussing, it will move again. So the question is, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हमने ये मान लिया है कि there is struggle for survival and survival of the fittest, और हम इसीलिए पूरी लाइफ को स्ट्रगल मानकर जी रहे हैं. और जब हम स्ट्रगल मानकर जी रहे हैं, so are we happy living this way? What do you think? How do you see this? How do you see it for yourself? है ना? So we'll find that हमको चाहे कितना भी पढ़ा दिया जाए, there is struggle for survival. चाहते तो हम संबंध पूर्वक जीना ही है. We don't want to have feeling of opposition in relationship. We want to live in relationship. But because it has been, taught since childhood, there is struggle for survival and survival of the fittest. We keep on struggling, which we don't want. So whatever we are doing in the name of progress, development, are we doing it happily or we are struggling to be happy? This has to be explored. But for human being, if we see for ourselves, both physical facility and relationship is necessary. We don't want to have struggle. We want relationship, right? So this you can see now. Are you able to see the next slide?
Yes, ma'am. We are able to
Okay.
see next.
So on further examination, you will find that we do all want to live in relationship with others. पर ऐसा क्यों होता है कि हम चाहते तो हैं रिलेशनशिप में जीना और हम एक कमिटमेंट के साथ ही शुरू करते हैं कि आज अब बिल्कुल कोई झगड़ा नहीं होगा, अगर किसी के साथ हो भी गया, we want to start afresh without any kind of a conflict or contradiction. But then though we start afresh, till night it happens that we get into a fight or conflict once again. Every night when there is a fight, we want to resolve it. We start the next day with the thought that we don't want to fight today, but you'll see that due to lack of right understanding about fulfillment in relationship, a fight takes place by night. So one more thing is required. We all want to be in relationship, but we are not able to live in relationship. Why? See, what happens when there is a mathematical problem, right? Your teacher asks you to solve a problem and you make mistake, you are not able to solve it. And he 100 times tells you that make a commitment that you won't make this mistake again. I have told you so many times. Or he scolds you for this and says that you won't make this mistake once again. But just by scolding, are you able to solve the problem without any issue in understanding? So you'll see that no, it happens that without understanding of the principle, how to solve this problem, you try a lot, but you are not able to solve it. In the same way, we don't know the principle of how to live a how to live in fulfilling relationship. You are not able to fulfill a relationship or can't have a mutually fulfilling relationship. That's why a fight takes place. So for fulfillment in relationship, it is necessary to have right understanding about relationship. That is, right understanding is also necessary for human beings. So we need three things for having a fulfilling life, that is physical facility, relationship, and right understanding. Just ask yourself, are all three required or is something redundant out of all these three? क्या लगता है, तीनों की जरूरत है या तीनों में से कुछ अनावश्यक है या किसी और चीज की जरूरत है? सही समझ, संबंध और सुविधा, या तीनों की जरूरत है या इनमें से किसी को छोड़ सकते हैं? वे समझ हो जाए, बहुत है, संबंध का क्या करेंगे, फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज का क्या करेंगे, या फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज ही हो जाएं, समझ की क्या जरूरत है, रिलेशनशिप की क्या जरूरत है, या आपको लगता है कि कुछ और इसमें ऐड करने की जरूरत है, तो वो भी बता सकते हैं. Are all three required? Is something redundant or is anything more required? What do you think? और क्या हम तीनों के लिए काम कर रहे हैं? Right understanding, relationship and physical facility. Are we working for all three? Or we are working only for physical facility? और अगर हमको तीनों की जरूरत है, हमको लगता है कि नहीं हमको जरूरत तो तीनों की है, then what would be the priority? इन तीनों में से किसको नंबर 1 रखेंगे, किसको नंबर 2, किसको नंबर 3? What is your reflection on it? See, if we just explore within, whatever the responses, because here on this online platform, we are not getting that responses from your side. But then if we conduct these offline sessions, so we have a very interactive session and we get to know the responses from your side, then it exactly makes us understand our own aspiration, what exactly do we want. So if we explore this way, we'll find that yes, we want all three. And if we prioritize them, we'll find that right understanding at number 1, relationship at number 2, and physical facility at number 3. This is what we want. But once we work, why to prioritize? Putting priority does not mean that we are demeaning physical facility or we are demeaning relationship. But once we prioritize, it simply means that what we put at number 1, if we work on number 1 priority, then it becomes easier to work on number 2 and number 3. So if we work on right understanding first, with right understanding of relationship, we are able to ensure mutual happiness with other human beings. With the right understanding in the self, I am able to ensure feelings within me, the feeling of trust, feeling of respect. When I'm with these feelings and I live with other human beings with the feeling of trust and respect, the feeling in myself makes me happy. And when I express these feelings to the other also be happy. So it ensures mutual happiness. And with the right understanding, when I go on working with physical facility, I'm able to decide how much do I need, and accordingly, I produce more than my requirement. With the feeling of prosperity, having feeling of prosperity within me, I'm able to nurture or able to make the nature also prosperous. But if we just look at the present model, have we prioritized it this way? Or presently, at first priority is physical facility, second is also physical facility, and even the third is also physical facility. But when we live this way, if our living is this way, what exactly is the outcome? If we look at it, without having right understanding within myself, I become unhappy. When I am unhappy and go on living with other human beings with no clarity about how to live in relationship, having no understanding about the fulfillment in relationship, I'm not able to ensure mutual happiness. And I am also unhappy and making the other also happy. And without right understanding about physical facility, number 1, I'm not able to decide how much do I require. When I am not able to decide how much do I require, I keep on accumulating the more and more, but still having the feeling of deprivation within. And with this feeling of deprivation within, would I help the other, support the other, or I'll exploit the other, dominate the other? So if I work only for physical facility, I have the feeling of deprivation within, and in return, accumulating from nature more and more, making the nature deprived. Right? So I desire for happiness. Just a minute, let me just check it, whether it's, yes. Is the slide visible now? The 40th slide?
No, ma'am, not 48. 36 is visible.
Okay. Okay. So let me move on to 48. Hope it's visible now.
40 visible now, ma'am.
G. So what happens is, what is happening if we just see within our own selves, with insufficient understanding and insufficient fulfillment in relationship, when we put in effort only for physical facility, Firstly, we do not experience happiness within. Secondly, without having right understanding, we are never able to rightly determine our requirement of physical facility. हम वो भी नहीं पता कर पाते हैं कि हमको कितना चाहिए, और उसका आउटकम ये होता है कि therefore in spite of having accumulation, a lot of accumulation, we feel that we do not have sufficient physical facility and we continually have the feeling of deprivation. है ना? Therefore, if we look around, we'll find that there are two kinds of people whom we see around. I hope I have changed the slide and it's now visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll find that we see the two categories of human being around us. One is lacking physical facility, unhappy and deprived. And second is having physical facility, still unhappy and deprived. If we look around, these two kind of people are seen. But what exactly do we want? We want to be in one, or we want to be in two, or we want to be in a third category where having physical facility, happy and prosperous. Check within yourself. Where are you now? In category number 1, 2 or 3? And where do you want to be? कहाँ आप हैं और कहाँ आप होना आपको naturally acceptable है? कैटेगरी 1 में, 2 में या 3 में? ये आप अपने में जांच कर देख सकते हैं, है ना? So if our living is only for physical facility, then we are living with animal consciousness, because animals live only for physical facility and are fulfilled by that, not human beings, है ना? अगर हम एनिमल्स को देखें, उनको एक बार सुविधा मिल जाए वो आराम में आ जाते हैं, बट ह्यूमन बीइंग्स खाली सुविधा से तृप्त होता नहीं है. उनको अगर देखें ह्यूमन बीइंग को, तो इफ वी आर लिविंग फॉर ऑल थ्री, दैट इज राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, रिलेशनशिप एंड फिजिकल फैसिलिटी, देन वी आर लिविंग विद ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस. Human beings can be fulfilled by being happy and prosperous on the basis of these three. That is right understanding in the self, relationship with other human beings, and physical facility with the rest of nature. And this transformation, what do you think? Transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness. Is it desirable? Is it desirable? Is it necessary or optional? क्या लगता है आपको? ये एनिमल कॉन्शियसनेस से ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन डिजायरेबल है या ऑप्शनल है? If we are working only for physical facility, then it is living with animal consciousness. But if we are working on all three, that is right understanding, clarity in the self, relationship with human beings, and physical facility with rest of nature, then this is living with human consciousness. क्या लगता है, अभी हम तीनों के लिए काम कर रहे हैं या सिर्फ सुविधा के लिए? पहले तो यही तय हो जाए. अगर हम सिर्फ सुविधा के लिए काम कर रहे हैं तो ये एनिमल कॉन्शियसनेस में जीना है, क्योंकि एनिमल सिर्फ सुविधा से तृप्त होता है. अगर इस तरीके का सेशन चलाना हो तो एनिमल्स के लिए नहीं चलाया जा सकता, क्योंकि उसमें समझ की जरूरत नहीं है, उनको संबंध की जरूरत नहीं है. लेकिन ह्यूमन बीइंग को अगर देखें तो ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए सही समझ की भी जरूरत है, संबंध की भी और सुविधा की भी, और वो अगर तीनों पर काम करता है तो इसी को मानव चेतना में जीना कहा. अच्छा, एनिमल कॉन्शियसनेस जब हम बोल रहे हैं तो दिस डजंट मीन वी आर डिमीनिंग एनिमल्स. animals living with animal consciousness is fine. Human beings living with human consciousness is also fine. The problem is human being living with animal consciousness. This is the problem. And this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness is progress. इसी को हमने progress कहा, इसी को हमने development कहा. This is what is holistic development. संपूर्ण विकास. यानी working for physical facilities, working for relationship, and working for right understanding in the self as well. This is holistic development. तो जितनी सुविधाएं बढ़ रही हैं, फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज बढ़ रही हैं, उतना ही संबंध और समझ भी बढ़ रहा है या नहीं? जैसे वो होता है ना, एक बच्चा पैदा हुआ, अब उसका शरीर में खाली सिर बढ़ता जाए, आप उसको क्या कहेंगे? विकास कहेंगे, विनाश कहेंगे, या डिजीज कहेंगे, बीमारी कहेंगे, है ना? तो दिखाई देता है विकास तो हो रहा है, वो खाली सिर का विकास हो रहा है, बाकी शरीर का नहीं हो रहा है, तो वो विकास है या बीमारी है? कैंसर सेल्स में भी विकास होता है, वहां भी विकास दिखाई देता है, तो सेल्स तेजी से मल्टीप्लाई कर रही हैं, विकास दिखाई दे रहा है. बट वो विकास जो खाली एक तरीके की सेल्स में डेवलपमेंट है, वो डेवलपमेंट है या डिजीज है? दिस वी हैव टू एक्सप्लोर. तो फिजिकल फैसिलिटी तो बढ़ जाए. आज हम देखें तो सारा एफर्ट हम लोग फिजिकल फैसिलिटी थर्ड के लिए ही काम कर रहे हैं. अगर ये बढ़ जाए पर उसके साथ साथ संबंध नहीं बढ़े, समझ नहीं बढ़े, तो वो डेवलपमेंट है या नहीं है? So what development we are talking is development in physical facilities, relationship and right understanding. अगर तीनों में डेवलपमेंट है, तीनों में विकास है, तो उसी को हमने कहा ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस में जीना. तीनों पर काम करते हैं तो दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन progress is progress from animal consciousness to human consciousness. And this is what is the role of education. Education का रोल भी इतना ही है. Education के रोल को अगर देखें तो this is what is the role of education. Transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness. Now if we look at the role of education in sanskar, as teachers, as academicians, what exactly is our role? Now, role of education sanskar is to enable this transformation. As teachers, it is our role to enable this transformation in our students. So holistic development is transformation to human consciousness. And the role of education sanskar is to enable this transformation by way of ensuring development of the competence to live with definite human conduct. And for this, the entire education sanskar has to ensure three things. Number one, right understanding in the self of every child. Number two, the capacity to live in relationship with other human beings. And third, the capacity to identify the need of physical facility. The student should be able to actually identify how much do I need. And then the skills and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required, leading to the feeling of prosperity within. So these are the three components of human education sanskar if it has to ensure development of definite human conduct. And if we look at the education that we are giving today, we'll find that we all feel actually, if you respond, I would have come to know your feeling, your point of view, your perspective. We'll find that first one is missing. There is no talk on right understanding in the self. सही समझ के लिए कोई काम नहीं हो रहा है. सेकंड वाला भी मिसिंग है. संबंध में कैसे जीना है, वो एक कैपेसिटी बिल्ड हो पाए संबंध को पहचानने की, संबंध के निर्वाह की, दैट इज ऑल्सो मिसिंग. And the third one, that is the identification of physical facility, कितना मुझे चाहिए, ये मैं पहचान पाऊं, ये कॉम्पिटेंस भी नहीं बन पा रहा है. Not just this, the willingness to produce by way of labor is also missing. सब रेड कॉलर्ड होना चाहते हैं. वो भी आज हम एजुकेशन में एक बच्चा पूरा 20-25 साल लगा के निकल रहा है, तो वहां श्रम की मानसिकता नहीं बन रही. The core feeling that is generated is accumulate more and more, consume more and more, rather than produce more and more. है ना? So education sanskar, if we just look at this, education sanskar shapes the society of the future. If we are providing human education sanskar, students will exhibit definite human conduct and they will contribute toward a humane society in future as well. But if we are not providing such education sanskar, students will exhibit indefinite inhuman conduct and they will contribute to an inhuman society in future. And if we look at the state of the society today, which clearly indicates there is increasing tension in individuals, division in the family, terrorism in the society, an increasing exploitation of nature, climate change, global warming, resource depletion, and so on. List is so huge, right? So let us just think, are we ensuring human education sanskar in our children? और क्या हमको ऐसा करने की जरूरत है? Do we need to do this? It's again important question for all of us to explore. What exactly are we giving? अभी देखिए ना, एक there is a survey report of May 2011. पूरे वर्ल्ड का जो सर्वे है, UN backed report है ये. So 1 billion ton of food is lost or wasted every year. And if we just look at this data, global food production is 6 times of our requirement. पूरे वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलेशन की अगर भोजन की जरूरत को निकाला जाए तो जितना प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है उससे 6 गुना ज्यादा हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं. और 1/3 of the production is getting wasted. और ये जो वेस्ट हो रहा है ना 1/3, ये कम से कम 1300 करोड़ लोगों के भोजन की जरूरत को पूरा कर देता है. तो हम फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज को अगर देखें तो वहां कोई कमी नहीं दिखाई देती, है ना? बट हैव वी अंडरस्टूड राइट यूटिलाइजेशन? हमने सही सदुपयोग सुविधाओं का उसको समझा है क्या? और ये जो आज वेस्ट हो रहा है खाना, जो कि 1300 करोड़ लोगों के भोजन की जरूरत को पूरा करता है, इज इट अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ प्रोडक्शन और इज इट अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ रिलेशनशिप? प्रोडक्शन में तो कोई कमी नहीं दिख रही है, लेकिन हम संबंध दूसरे से नहीं देख पा रहे और उसको वहां तक पहुंचा नहीं पा रहे हैं, तो इसकी वजह से हम खाना वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. इतना भोजन वेस्ट हो रहा है, इतना प्रोडक्शन हमारा वेस्ट हो रहा है. So is it a question, this question of relationship, is it a question of production or is it a question of right understanding? जो संबंध का मुद्दा है, ये समझ का मुद्दा है या प्रोडक्शन की प्रॉब्लम है? तो दिखाई देगा कि this is a question of right understanding. This is a question of right education and sanskar. That's why if we just look into the role of education once again, we'll find that the role of education sanskar is to facilitate development of the competence to live with definite human conduct by ensuring all three, that is right understanding, relationship and physical facility in every human being. हर मानव को निश्चित मानवीय आचरण से युक्त करना, समझ, संबंध और सुविधा तीनों को इंश्योर करना, ये शिक्षा संस्कार की जिम्मेदारी. दिस इज द रोल ऑफ एजुकेशन. And we as parents, teachers and society, environment have the responsibility of providing such education sanskar. ये सभी की जिम्मेदारी है. एजुकेशन हम कह रहे हैं सही समझ के विकास को. So education is developing right understanding. Well, when we say sanskar, sanskar is the living part. It is about the commitment, preparation, practice for right living. And this preparation includes learning right skills in technology. So if we see the slide, as role of education sanskar, human consciousness, if we live with human consciousness, this leads to universal human order. तो इन तीनों की जरूरत है. With right understanding the self means understanding harmony in the individual. फिर अपने जीने के पूरे expanse को देखें. So we are living as an individual, we are living as family, we are living as society, we are living as part of, as unit of entire nature and existence. So what exactly right understanding is? Understanding this holistic from self to nature existence. This is what is right understanding. And when we live with this clarity about oneself, family, society, and nature, we're able to ensure justice and relationship with other human beings. And when we live with mutual fulfillment in family, it becomes the basis for undivided society. परिवार में हम संबंध का निर्वाह कर पाते हैं, तो ये परिवार तक ही सीमित नहीं रहता. It leads to, or it moves to entire society, and it becomes the basis for undivided society. And with this clarity, ensuring right understanding in the self and relationship with human being, we are able to participate in larger order with nature also, from family order to world family order. Ensuring fulfillment of human goal, reaching universal human order. है ना? तो ये समझ का कंटेंट है. इसको अगर हम देखें तो समझना क्या है, समझ की वस्तु क्या है, समझना किसे है, सही समझ किसको कह रहे हैं, इसको अगर हम देखें तो सही समझ स्वयं को समझना, परिवार को समझना, समाज को समझना, पूरे प्रकृति अस्तित्व को समझना. This is what is the content of right understanding. This is what is education. इसी को शिक्षा कहा, इस समझ को शिक्षा कहा. और संस्कार कहा जीने वाले भाग को. फिर इस समझ के साथ living in harmony at all 4 levels, as individual, family, society, nature and existence. इसको संस्कार पाठ कहा. तो अब इतने को अगर मैं सम अप करूं, समराइज करूं, so we'll see that the role of education sanskar is to enable the transformation to human consciousness by way of ensuring the development of the competence to live a definite human conduct. And for this, education sanskar is to ensure right understanding in the self of every child, capacity to live in relationship with other human beings, developing a capacity to identify the need of physical facility and the skills which are required for practicing sustainable production of more than what is required, leading to the feeling of prosperity within. These 3 are the components of human education sanskar if it has to ensure development of definite human conduct. अगर निश्चित मानवीय आचरण का विकास होना है तो उसके लिए ये 3 कंपोनेंट्स पर काम होना जरूरी है. और पेरेंट्स, टीचर्स, सोसाइटी और पूरे वातावरण को जिम्मेदारी है कि इस तरीके का शिक्षा संस्कार दें, which helps the individual to transform from animal to human consciousness. And we have explored this in this session, that we need the steps which are necessary to ensure human education sanskar, that is to work on all 3 of the components which are essential for definite human conduct of human being, जैसा हम सभी चाहते भी हैं. So this is all from my side. So if anyone has any question, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने किसी ने कुछ बात रखी नहीं है, शेयर नहीं किया है, कोई क्वेश्चन भी नहीं पूछा है, तो मेरे लिए जरूरी है ये जानना. that whatever is being shared, if you have any question on it, if you have any doubt about it, then you can ask, please. This is all from my side. Dr. Panchal is, I'm able to see your hair. Jagat Kumari ji is there. If you have any query, then you can please ask.
Madam, I would like to know that in new education policy, this AICT is going to implement this UHV course is compulsory, or they are going to give credit for that or not? If you give some detail about that.
Ji. At present, if we see in AKTU, Abdul Kalam Technical University, we are running it as credit course in second year. And we have offered, higher level courses in third year as open elective and in final year also. But in rest of the universities where it is getting introduced for the very first time, the process of orienting the faculty members is going on right now in online mode, where the back-to-back workshops are going on. And it is for firstly to introduce it as induction program for first year students. Once the teachers get ready for it, we have that clarity and purpose. We are clear with the purpose that yes, it is necessary for me and for my students, for educational institution. Then gradually from induction program, we can offer it in second year also. So yes, it is going to get offered in second year as credit program. And in first year, it is only for induction.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ji.
Is it mandate to study that elective as elective subject, madam, for the courses?
When it is elective, naturally it is not mandatory, but if one chooses it for his well-being and he want to explore deeper into human reality or the existential realities, yes, he can.
Yeah, earlier also this 10 to 12 years back, we had that environmental study mandate subject like that. We had to have this as elective, I think.
Jagat Kumari ji, I'm not able to hear you clearly. So what is your question? If you can repeat it once again.
Yeah, it is answered, madam. Just I am saying that if you think on that, 10 to 12 years back, otherwise it is 15 years back, we had the subject environmental sciences as an elective subject in all the studies. Just like that, we have to introduce, I think.
Ji.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
In our university, we running two subjects compulsory related to human values. One with first year student, compulsory, that is also compulsory but not credited. And second one is in third semester or fourth, that is compulsory and take 3 credits, known as Universal Human Values 2.
Yes, in Punjab, you have worked pretty hard. I know it was introduced long back. Even the PG diploma program was there. MTech was also there in value education.
Yes, ma'am. We also introduce in MTech also.
Ji.
Any other questions? Participants, any questions from the ma'am?
From my side, I would say, sorry, not being that techno-savvy, so I couldn't present it properly, nor could I see my participants to interact in between. So it went, although one way, but then yes, it's always open to share your feelings, share your doubts for clarity. We are always there.
No question, no any other question. So, ma'am, before the end of the session, I would like to share your huge knowledge to us for our actual real life Thank you so much, ma'am, from your.
It's all my pleasure, sir. It's all my pleasure.
Thank you so much, madam, for giving this lot of information regarding. So no one will give this kind of information, and what is that? Very enlightened and very what is that? Informative, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagat Kumari ji.
Ma'am, now you can leave. We end this
Okay.
session.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.